The Dixie Fire of 2021 was California's second largest wildfire. It spanned territory in 5 of the state's northern counties, merged with 2 other large wildfires, and burned an area larger than New York City, Chicago, Dallas, and Los Angeles combined. This emergency broadcast signaled an evacuation order for Plumas County, but did not describe the disaster in detail or what steps to take to protect one's life beyond fleeing the disaster zone. In a way, that oversight alone is a frightening quality of this announcement. The brevity and lack of information about the disaster and its hazards possibly meant that the dangers were expected to be self-evident or obvious to listeners, almost as though there was not sufficient time to spell them out in detail before the fire arrived on their doorsteps. They were essentially told to get out and live, or stay and burn to death. The fire and its devastation would continue until it was contained after 105 days of terror.
This is the Plumas County Sheriff's Office with a mandatory evacuation order for all of Genesee Valley southeast of Taylorsville up Genesee Road to just south of Babak crossing Walker Mine Road and north portion of Beckworth Genesee Road. If you remain emergency personnel may not be able to help, please evacuate south on Highway 89. Please visit the Plumas County Sheriff's Office Facebook page or visit Plumas County website for more information.
This announcement from 2013 takes us back to the site of the first ever tornado emergency, namely the Oklahoma city of Moore, the epicenter of America's Tornado Alley. That tornado emergency was first issued on May 3, 1999, when an F5 tornado was on the verge of entering the city. Significant tornadoes also occurred in 1998, 2003, 2010, 2013, and 2015. Unlike a tornado warning, a tornado emergency indicates an imminent and confirmed threat to a given community, where significant casualties and damage are likely, if not expected. This is a recording of the tornado emergency for the May 2013 tornado, the second F5 or EF5 rated tornado to cut through the city. The severity of the warning is also driven home by the live voice recording from a National Weather Service employee, adding important information that the automated message left out in the short window of time before disaster. The twister fully lived up to its emergency designation, killing 24 people and injuring another 212 in the process, with winds that reached speeds of 210 miles per hour.
This is a tornado emergency from Moore in South Oklahoma City at 3:08 p.m. Central Daylight Time. National Weather Service meteorologists and storm spotters were tracking a large and extremely dangerous tornado located 4 miles west of Moore, moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. In addition to a tornado, large destructive hail up to tennis ball size is expected with this storm. Locations impacted include Midwest City, Moore, Newcastle, Stanley Draper Lake, Tinker Air Force Base, and Valley Brook. This is an extremely dangerous and addition to the tornado, large destructive hail up to tennis ball size can be expected. Midwest City, Moore, Newcastle, Stanley, Draper Lake, Tinker Air Force Base, and Valley Bridge are directly affected by this. A tornado warning remains in effect until 3:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time for northwestern Maine, southern Oklahoma, and northern Cleveland counties. This is a tornado emergency for Moore and South Oklahoma City at 3:08 p.m. Central Daylight Time. National Weather Service meteorologists and storm spotters were tracking a large and extremely dangerous tornado located 4 miles west of Moore, moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. In addition to a tornado, large destructive hail up to tennis ball size is expected with this storm. Locations impacted include Midwest City, Moore, Newcastle, Stanley, Draper Lake, Tinker Air Force Base, and Valley Brook. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. If you cannot get underground, go to a storm shelter or an interior room of a sturdy building now. Take cover now in a storm shelter or an interior room of a sturdy building. Stay away from doors and windows.
Emergency alerts of any kind are terrifying enough as it is, coming seemingly out of nowhere and blaring through what would have otherwise been a peaceful environment only seconds before. Now, imagine that your television viewing is interrupted by a siren-like tone, followed by a deep male voice telling you that due to the increasingly global spread of a new virus, the air in public spaces is no longer safe to breathe. And for that reason, it is no longer safe to leave your home. That was the situation on April 4th, 2020, when this emergency alert was issued for the Canadian province of Ontario. Many other provinces and territories received similar announcements around the same time. At the same time, all that was known was that the virus that caused COVID-19 was a close relative of the first SARS virus that killed up to 1/3 of those infected during its spread in 2003, that the virus was airborne, and that unlike the first SARS virus, people could spread the virus without knowing they were sick.
Stop the spread. COVID-19 can be deadly. The time to act is now. Everyone but essential workers need to stay home. Only go out if absolutely necessary to pick up groceries, prescriptions, or go to a medical appointment. Ignoring self-isolation or physical distancing advice can have devastating effects and endanger lives. Protect yourself and others. Stay home. Learn more at https://covid19.ontario.ca.
Even compared to other emergency broadcasts, this alert and messages like it have an almost apocalyptic quality. In the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic, millions of people lost their lives. Very little personal protective equipment was available to the average consumer, and no medical interventions would exist until the following year. Billions of people suddenly had to make life and death decisions about what had been normal aspects of everyday life, wondering if they would get sick, and if they did, whether they would die, or what members of their support system would be spared. Even though the stay-at-home order made exceptions for medical appointments, grocery shopping, and prescription pickups, many naturally had to wonder if there would be enough doctors to treat the oncoming flood of patients, if there would be enough beds or staff at the hospital, if they would lose their jobs or homes, if things like groceries and medications would make it onto the shelves, and if their children would still be able to go to school. COVID-19 emergency broadcasts effectively raised all of these issues at once, making seismic changes in the lives of those who heard them. The landfall of Hurricane Ian in Florida during the last 4 days of September 2022 caused nearly 150 deaths, left 2 million people without electricity, and generated dozens of emergency alerts for that disaster alone. As indicated in this series of emergency alerts, those 4 days were an unbroken, waking nightmare. Much like the effects of the storm itself, the warnings and their content have a cumulative severity, with each alert only building on the one before it, and seeming to bring the same or worse news than before, day after day without let-up. What adds to the urgency of these emergency alerts are the short and extremely plain manner in which they describe or allude to the wide spectrum of dangers created by the hurricane. Many homes were completely flooded with water, and some on shorefronts collapsed into the ocean and were taken away. The worst of the storm took place during September 28th and 29th. In the last alert, issued on September 29th, it is announced that emergency workers will be unable to reach those in life-threatening emergencies until after the hurricane passes, leaving millions of Floridians in the dark in more ways than one.
The civil authorities have issued a civil emergency message for the FAL, beginning at 10:39 a.m. and ending at 2:39 p.m. It is time to shelter in place. It is no longer safe outside, on the bridges or roads.
Flood warning in effect until 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this afternoon. What flooding caused by excessive rainfall is occurring? Where? A portion of South Florida, including the following counties, Glades and Henry. When? Until 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Impacts: flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations is imminent or occurring. Low water crossings are inundated with water and may not be passable. Additional details: at 11:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, local law enforcement reported the water in the slough at bridge on Highway 29 just south of Highway 74 is about to spill over onto the highway in the Warren area. Therefore, a flood warning has been issued for this area. Some locations that will experience flooding include mainly rural areas of southern Glades and northwestern Henry counties. http://www.weather.gov/ Safety / flood turnaround. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Please report observed flooding to local emergency services or law enforcement and request they pass this information to the National Weather Service when you can do so safely. National Weather Service in Miami has issued a tornado warning for East Central Henry County in southern Florida, southwestern Palm Beach County in southeastern Florida until 2:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 2:37 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Holy Land Wildlife Refuge, over 18 miles south of South Bay, moving northwest at 45 miles an hour. Hazard: tornado. Source: radar indicated rotation. Impact expects damage to mobile homes, roofs, and vehicles. Tree damage is likely. Locations impacted include Belle Glade, South Bay, Holy Land Wildlife Refuge, Ocalanta, and Belle Glade Camp. Take cover now. Move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Heavy rainfall may hide this tornado. Do not wait to see or hear the tornado. Take cover now. Tornadoes are extremely difficult to see and confirm at night. Do not wait to see or hear the tornado. Take cover now. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 2:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following county: Henry, Florida. The National Weather Service in Tampa Bay, Ruskin has issued a flash flood warning for southwestern Charlotte County in southwestern Florida, Manatee County in west central Florida, Sarasota County in west central Florida, until 7:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Doppler radar and automated rain gauges indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 3 and 6 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 3 to 6 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by Hurricane Ian. Source: radar and automated gauges. Impact: flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include North Port, Sarasota, Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, Mayaca River State Park, Lake Sarasota, Gulf Gate Estates, Southgate Ridge, Sarasota Springs, Ridgewood Heights, Southgate, South Sarasota, Warm Mineral Springs, Venice Gardens, South Venice, Nokomis, Laurel, Oscar Sierra State Park, Gulf Cove, and Gator Creek Estate. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be aware of your surroundings and do not drive on flooded roads. Stay away or be swept away. River banks and culverts can become unstable and unsafe. The National Weather Service in Tampa Bay, Ruskin has issued a flash flood warning for Hardee County in central Florida, DeSoto County in south central Florida, southwestern Highlands County in south central Florida, Charlotte County in southwestern Florida, northern Lee County in southwestern Florida, eastern Manatee County in west central Florida, Sarasota County in west central Florida, until 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:52 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Doppler radar indicated heavy rain associated with Hurricane Ian is producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 5 and 16 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 3 to 6 inches are possible in the warned area through 9 p.m. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by Hurricane Ian. Source: radar and automated gauges. Impact: flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Cape Coral, North Port, Sarasota, Bradenton, Punta Gorda, Arcadia, Wauchula, Port Charlotte, Southeast Arcadia, Mayaca City, Charlotte County Airport, Mayaca River State Park, Babcock Web WMA, Babcock Ranch, Ana, Lake Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota Springs, Southgate Ridge, and Gulf Gate Estates. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be aware of your surroundings and do not drive on flooded roads.
The civil authorities have issued a civil emergency message for the FAL, beginning at 4:28 p.m. and ending at 8:28 p.m. If water is coming into your home, get to the highest spot possible. Responders will begin rescues after the hurricane passes. This could last through the night.
On top of the 149 people who died, the bodies of 13 other victims were never found.